Hi, good morning, y'all. Kendall Jamal, aka Fly Courtesy, and we back with another daily motivational video. Today is Sunday, May the 3rd, and today I want to talk about unconditional love and what that means to me. To me, unconditional love is to sacrifice. It's to love unconditionally without any type of bias or personal agenda connected to it. It's just to love freely without expectation. And how do you love without expectation? Well, let's say, for instance, when let's start with the Bible. You know, they say, so God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son. He sacrificed His Son, His flesh, for the greater good of civilization, for the human consciousness, our soul, our essence. Because He loved us so much that He was really willing to sacrifice and kill off a part of Himself so that we may have everlasting life and be forgiven. So how do we, in 2020, today's society, how do we express unconditional love? Well, I believe it starts by loving yourself. You have to love yourself unconditionally. You have to first see past your flaws, see past your insecurities, and see past your doubts. And you have to love yourself unconditionally. You know, like, no matter what you might have done in the past, no matter what people might perceive about you or mistakes you've made, you have to be your number one provider of emotional security, of unconditional love, of knowing that when you look into the mirror, you love yourself more than anybody else loves you. And that's how you show unconditional love. And because you love yourself so much, you know that you're only a reflection of the Most High and that we are all God's children. And so to love yourself is to love God. To love others is to love God. So if you really want to show unconditional love to the Most High, you want to give back to Him what He gave to us, you will love all your neighbors the same way. You know, Jesus talked about loving your enemies. How do you love your enemies? Well, if God is light and devil is the darkness, my enemy would be anybody in darkness. So I will put love towards people that's considered my enemies. You know what I'm saying? I want to love the people that do me wrong, the people that don't want me to be successful. I want to send love their way, because if they have hatred or animosity towards me, it's because they don't have love in their heart. You know what I'm saying? The devil fell from heaven because he had too much pride. He didn't love himself enough to understand that humans and angels can all be together. You know what I'm saying? He had pride, which is a false perception of self-love. You know, it's more of like an arrogance to have pride. It's more like you love what you're capable of, not necessarily love who you are. You know what I'm saying? Because pride is like a false veil. You can't really see everything that's there because you have too much pride blinding your eyes, and it causes a blockage. So unconditional love, you love your neighbors. That means, like, if somebody believes something different than you, or they might live a different lifestyle, you don't judge that person, but you might sit there and take your time to understand where that person's coming from. I'm not saying you have to agree with them, but you have to accept them. You know what I'm saying? You love them through the struggle. You understand that some people don't always learn things at the same pace. Some people takes a little bit longer. So if you might know a piece of information and someone else might be struggling, do you put that person down because they don't know? No. You still appreciate that person because you understand it's a process. You know what I'm saying? Like, the birds, the flowers, and the bees, they all work harmoniously in nature. You know what I'm saying? Nobody has to tell a bee how to pollinate a flower. No one has to tell a bird how to fly a certain route, because these things were all set in place by the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Because everything in nature vibrates on a frequency of love. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're a child and you see another baby animal, maybe like a puppy, or you see like a, you know what I'm saying? There's usually some type of connection when you see baby animals, and that's because baby animals, they're still innocent, and so they're vibrating at a very, very, very high frequency of love, and we can feel that. So how do we give back to the community? How do we love ourselves more? You love yourself more by doing things that make you feel good, doing things that align yourself with the Most High. You know, like it doesn't take long to sit in a quiet room, close your eyes, get rid of distractions, and just ask God, how can I love you more? How can I love myself more? How can I love others more? Asking yourself simple questions, the universe is going to give you answers back. You can't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone, to make sacrifices, to put your heart on the line, because that's what God wants us to do. We have to all shine our light. You know what I'm saying? And part of that is stepping out into the front fields, the front lines, you know what I'm saying, where the danger is. Because, like I said, where there's love, there's going to be hatred. So the more love you put out into the world, the more hatred that you're going to receive. But it's okay, because we know where that hatred is coming from. It's coming from a place of misinformation. It's coming from a place of misunderstanding. So if we can get more people to just show love to everybody unconditionally, the world will slowly become a better place. But it has to be taught. You have to love your neighbors. You have to love your enemies. You have to love your family, your friends, everybody. You know, someone cut you off in the road in traffic. Instead of, you know what I'm saying, going off on that person, step back and say, you know what? I don't know what that person is going through, but I want to pray for that person. You know what I'm saying? Because we never really know what someone else is going through. And a way of putting ourselves in other people's shoes is by unconditional love, is by sacrificing something for the greater good of others. That sacrifice might be a comfort zone. That sacrifice might be a insecurity. That sacrifice might be, you know what I'm saying, something that gives you a sense of control, but you know you have to let it go so that you might inspire others. But, all right, y'all. That's enough for today. I'll be seeing y'all tomorrow. Fly Curtis is signing out. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful day, y'all.